All right, let's take a look at exercise 8. This is a demonstration of the various look and feel options that are available with the swing library. You'll notice the 2 imports I have. Your assignment had a few extra imports. Most of those were not used. There was their default setting I have for applications I build for myself. And so there are some ones that I automatically have brought in all the time. I've gone ahead and cleaned those out. You'll see that we only have the Abstract Window Toolkit and the Swing Library are the only 2 items that we're using. The window you see in front of you is the look and feel demo for the Windows platform. It is the Windows look and feel. Again, mine might look a little bit different than yours. The Mac is very specific about how things appear, and I think that they have sort of implemented their own version of the Java virtual machine to, I think, keep things still sort of Mac-like. But you can see, generally speaking, the button and the color scheme for the button look very similar to the way Microsoft uses and does things. You'll notice the only thing we really need to do, all this stuff sets up the various fields that we're going to use and a layout manager to display all of those fields in the area that we have. Again, the idea behind that is to just show you a sampling of components and how they look. The real work is done down here in the UI manager.setLookAndFeel method. Again, that's a static method. We don't have to create an object to use it. These are the various strings for to find the look and feel libraries or classes, if you will. That one was the Windows. If I comment that out and I uncomment the motif, we will see what a motif program looks like, and it will look differently. If I bring this down here, this is more what you would expect to see in some Ubuntu looks a little nicer, but in most X Windows based Linux systems, this is what you would see. This is what you would see for an environment. I liken this to the old Sun terminals that I used to use when I was in college. We had a Sun Spark lab at Millersville University, and this is how the Spark X Windows interface, which is their windowing interface, looked like when we were working with it. Again, you'll notice the color scheme is different, the button layout is different, the fonts are a little bit different. And finally, let's comment this one out and let's take a look at the metal look and feel. Again, this is sort of the default. It's sort of the default look and feel. This looks more like what we've been seeing and looks more like Windows. It does look a little bit more like the Windows look than previous. Again, by default, we use what's called Ocean, which is an altered version of metal. So if I take all of this away, if I comment this all out, let me see here. Hopefully the try-catch block won't yell at me. You can see this. You can see this layout right here. And then if we run it again, this time I'm going to do metal. I'll bring this in. I'll bring this in. You can see they're not very different. Let's run it again this time and bring in the Microsoft. And again, you can see some color differences and a little bit of font differences here. And finally, I'll bring in the motif, which is more of a Linux, a Unix, what we can conveniently call NX look and feel, and you can see the obvious differences. You can see the obvious differences between all of these. Again, notice this one is Windows, this is motif, this is standard, and this is metal. And you can see metal Metal, Standard, and Windows all look about the same. The Unix one, however, is completely different. You can see the text area here versus the text area here versus the text area here. If you have any questions about this, you can let me know. Again, something to think about for the platforms that you're working on. One of the reasons why I like the Swing library is your Windows look in Windows, your Metal look in Windows and in Mac are going to be very similar. You'll see the title bar at the top of the window is different. It is Mac style, and you're going to have that. But as you can see here, this is going to look the same. This stuff is going to look the same on every platform. This stuff is going to look the same on every platform. This stuff is going to look the same on every platform. And this stuff is going to look the same on every platform. So whatever look and feel you go with, you can expect a consistent experience across all platforms, outside of maybe the title bar of the window. And if you compare this to what you're seeing on your Windows machine, I think you'll see what I mean. That's pretty much all there is for look and feel. If you go ahead and click on the next button, you can you'll move on to the discussion of the file chooser, and we'll review that. You can do that activity after you listen to the lecture, and we'll review that. Again, questions, please let me know. You can either batch them all up and give them to me once you've been through the entire lecture, or send them to me piecemeal. Either way, I will get those answered as quickly as I can. Again, you can click on the next button and take a look at the lecture for the file chooser.